Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the ancestors past, present and future and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Goodness me, my poor box is falling apart. Using the Golden Universal Tarot for this particular reading. And what I want to have a look at is news that is now coming out about Pennsylvania in regards to votes cast don't seem to add up to how many people were actually voters in particular areas. So there's a report, there's a Substack report by This Will Hold, when some particular area, Northampton County, apparently had 435% of voters cast ballots. So 4 times as many votes were cast as there were actual voters in the area. So again, they're sort of looking at everything that was dubious going on in 2024, and I just want to have a little bit of a look at a little bit of a deep dive. Now, I do apologise if I'm a bit distracted. Yeah, what a week it's been! But not only Christmas and New Year with all the messing. Mum had to have a emergency tooth extraction after she broke a tooth into 3. Ended up in hospital overnight last night, looking like a elephant walrus. I don't think she appreciated that term. And it was just really quite confronting as she's in under the palliative care model at this stage in her life. Okay, and yes, I'm missing my family back in Australia. They're missing me, missing the grandkids, missing the furs, but very much my priority is here at the moment. Okay, entertainment only. And what I want to have a look at is this Pennsylvania ballot that seems to be rather off, including, I believe, there was one district that had over 1,200, so 1,200% increase in actual voters to ballots cast. You also got Minnesota District 8 that apparently the machine versus hand count for District 8 was a 6 to 8% difference. So 6% less to the Orange Twerp, 6% more to Harris, which is just showing normally the fail rate for the machines is less than 1%, but the fact that it was 6% and over shows that there might have been some external intervention. But on top of that, the Democrat National Committee head, Ken Martin. Ken Martin, you say? Who's Ken Martin? He's the head of the Democratic National Committee, has come out and said that they will not release the analysis of the 2024 election. Okay, so what's in there that they don't want people to know? And the DNI Haynes, so the Director of National Intelligence, Avril Haines, her Intelligence Committee assessment has also not been released. You've got the likes of Ken Martin and Hakeem Jeffries saying, oh, there was nothing wrong with the vote. Oh, excuse me. Then release the information. I don't understand what it is they're afraid of. There's a lot going on here at the moment, especially when you look at what happened in Honduras election, and I'll have a look at that in a separate reading just to see whether that's going to be taken any further. But and as I split the deck to start shuffling using the Golden Universal Tarot, I have the Wheel of Fortune turning. The wheel is turning. Thems that were on the top are on the bottom, but also attitude is turning as well. And we're having, and I've got the 8 of Cups, the emotional walking away. People are not believing these statements that come out, neither should they, when the data is showing something completely different. But what's happening by taking this stance, Martin and Jeffries, etc., and Schumer, with his strongly worded letters, um, the people are walking away from the Dems too. The Dems are um, losing their trust in the voters are losing their trust in the Dems to actually do what's right as well, because the data is out there, does not lie, the math does not lie. Words, English, yes, you can manipulate English. Well, you can manipulate language. I'm talking about English, and I'm talking about English as a topic. So when you're telling a story, yes, that can be manipulated. And granted, if you have three witnesses to an event, you'll get three different accounts of what actually happened, right down to the color of the clothing that was worn, which is why CCTV and data is so important. But when the data is saying that there is something wrong, that is undeniable. So what we've got here, the gift from the past, and that put the orange twerp into the presidential position. Now, I understand in the early days saying, oh, we just won't tell anybody because if it had come out, it would have been absolute civil war, required the orange twerp and his cronies to get in and destroy the cult, because a cult can only be destroyed from within. And to be honest, elections have been manipulated since way back in Nixon times. And the manipulation early on was fairly um, blatant in the way that I'm not talking about votes being flipped, etc., but I'm sure there was gerrymandering back then. But making deals with overseas entities in regards to the Vietnam War to stop. Who was who was the one to stop? Was it Johnson getting re-elected? Now, I do apologise if I've got that wrong, but basically Nixon did a deal to keep the Vietnam War going, um, to undermine the election of the re-election of the dude that was already in, and he then won. Now, you've also then got Reagan did the same for Carter, negotiated with enemies of the state to undermine the re-election of Jimmy Carter in regards to, oh, don't release the hostages, etc., to undermine Jimmy Carter. Then you've got, I'm sure there was some more going on with the Bush first, but Bush second with Gore. Well, George W.'s brother in Florida halted the counting of the votes when Bush was ahead in Florida, and that swung it to Bush against Gore, and that's also the hanging Chad's election, where the paper was not the normal paper that was used, which ended up with the holes not being punched and letting go. Just it's been happening. It's election interference in the US has been happening since Nixon times. But we're at the stage where the people are going, well, we know it's happening. Don't lie to us anymore. So why did Ken Martin come out, the Democrats National Committee chair, why did Ken Martin come out to say he would not release the, do you want those cards? No. Why? I've got one that's fallen out, but there was a big thick stack there. That was just the second bit was lazy shuffling. Why has he come out to say he will not release the analysis? Now, come on, you investigative journalists, start a court case to get it released. Okay, the card that flung out at me, sorry about that, 10 minutes of waffling, is this one. It is my election cheating card, the vote flipping, but it's also about money changing hands as well. Corporate Dems. Um, I just, I'm just getting they don't want to stop the gravy train, which really, really makes me cross. This is about vote flipping, but it's also I just heard my guides tell me they don't want to stop the gravy train. Oh, challenged by agreements made behind the scenes for money. It comes down to money. Who is this Ken Martin person, and why is he there? Okay. However, the energy they're stewing in at the moment is they're trying to sell a stinky fish. The populace aren't buying it. They're trying to spin an emotional stinky fish tale, and the population aren't buying it. That's the energy they're in at the moment. You've got in the past the high priestess. The secrets about it being revealed, the hidden agenda being revealed in the past. That's why I say we're past the point already. You and I are past this point already. We're at this. We want this information to come out. We're demanding this information to come out. The reps aren't listening because they've got their own hidden agendas here. We're just waiting for them to catch up. This is in the past. The hidden agenda and the secrets being revealed is in the past. Crowning this, reading the Three of Swords. Heartbreak, loss, despair, betrayal, sense of betrayal, anguish, because the truth is out there, and we can see it. Some choose not to see it, but it's out there, and they're finding this truth terrifying. For whatever reason, the immediate future, you've got the Three of Cups, the celebration, the circle of support. Jeffries, Schumer, Martin, looking inwards, for whatever reason, they're thinking that they've got it covered, that they've got themselves protected, but externally you've got this Emperor card. The My Way or the Highway orange twerp, ruling by royal decree, the wannabe king. If you look at the difference between this card, they're looking inwards at each other, celebrating. But externally, we the people have ended up with this felon. It's not going to end well for them. It's not going to end well for the felon, and it's not going to end well for them. It's almost like this attitude of, oh, nothing, if we say nothing happened, then nothing happened. And sorry, I'll just have a sip of coffee. And all is hunky-dory, and we'll just continue on our merry way. Oh, this is upside down on the bottom. I don't usually read upside down, but this is upside down on the bottom. They're trying to look at their options, but it's upside down. It's not an option anymore. They're looking at how to hold on to it, but they can't. Okay, let's see where this goes. Hopes and fears. The Justice card. Right, we've got the walking away. So, legal action being taken. You've got the outcome, walking away, emotionally abandoning. This is why I've said in the past, and I really think that there are going to be new political parties that emerge. The Democrats are going to split, the Republicans are going to split. The Republicans are already splitting into MAGA and non-MAGA. The Dems are going to do the same into these self-protecting corporate Dems and then those that are the Dems that are actually there for the people. And when I'm talking about there for the people, I'm talking about the Buttigiegs and the AOCs and the Crockett's and the oh gosh, who else? The Raskins, the Mandamis, the Walsers, the ones that are actually there to represent their people. So emotionally walking away from what is on offer, the voters, and then the Hanged Man. Sorry, they weren't upside down, these particular cards. It's just my deck. Which, yeah, having to look at this differently. The voters are going to be looking at the party differently. And I know, I know a lot of readers and a lot of people out there are going, oh, the midterms. But the voters, they don't want the Dems either if the Dems are in this energy. They don't know who to vote for. There's confusion about who to vote for because they're not being represented by either party. And then we've got the death card, an ending of what has gone before and the beginning of something new, because there is this feeling of betrayal, this win at any cost, this not protecting. And then we've got the new party coming forward with the Ace of Wands. Yep. Oh boy. So on the bottom, we've got the upside down Page of Pentacles. They're too busy looking at the money, too busy looking at thinking that they've got it in the bag. But we've got the false knight, the false knight coming forward. And we've got the Temperance card trying to spin. But then you've got the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords, the youth coming out and speaking up with their truth. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to put that out there that I just they're going these Dems driving me nuts. They're going about it all wrong. In that the people just aren't buying what they're selling, yet they're sticking by sorry, I'm just making sure all my cards are up the right way. I must have done a boo-boo shuffle at some stage there. Which probably tells me I should have read more of them upside down. But yeah, it's upside down. I'm just going to say it is upside down. The corporate Dem leadership are not reading the room. MTG's reading the room. Oh my goodness, she's brilliant at it. Don't like it, don't agree with it, don't trust her. But boy, oh boy, she knows how to read a room. And yet we've got the big stick new plan and everything getting exposed here. It could be information coming out, but we've got here, these corporate Dems are going to be exposed as being, I won't say rotten, because they're not rotten, but they're going to end up in their naivety. They're going to end up with being exposed as having no clothes on, and it just really makes me incredibly cross. So let's have a look. You wouldn't believe what just popped out was that Page of Pentacles again. Looking to protect their own is what I'm getting from that, which, okay. However, so we've got Shapiro, I believe, is the governor of Pennsylvania. There are calls for him to take action in regards to these votes that are dodgy. But he hasn't, because he's one of these corporate Dems as well. But will there be forced? Okay, first of all, I want to ask, will the election analysis be released? The Democrat, will it be released? Will it be forced to be released under a Freedom of Information Act, or some sort of legal action. If you are a Democratic voter and you voted Democrat and you have a Democrat rep that you can call, ring them, write to them, demand that this be released. Just putting that out there. So come on down. Will it be released? Demand that it be released. Will it be released? Well, they're trying to protect it. So will it be released? They're trying to protect it, the National Committee. The challenge to them, though, is their era is at an end. The corporate Dem era is at an end. We've got the legislators here. The energy that it's stewing in at the moment are your elected representatives. Taking action. Because kings for me are external action being taken. I think it's going to be forced to be released because times have changed. Sorry, get that up the right way. Times have changed. The wheel has turned. In the past, we are beyond that point now. They just haven't caught up. Martin, Jeffries and Schumer, they just haven't caught up. Will it be released? And yes, it will, with the Sun card. Yes, it will be released. The immediate future, this is also my information coming from overseas potentially, or no, not, okay, thank you, love it when my guides pull me up. This is about behind the barricades, looking for a ship to come in that is not arriving. So the immediate future is you've got these corporate Dems looking for the ship to come in, but it's not coming in. It's like, okay, what I'm getting a visual of is back in the seafaring days, and the ship's captains' wives used to have a balcony on top of the house where they could oversee the harbour. And when the ship was due every evening or every tide, they would go up and walk to it was called the Widow's Walk, to see whether the ship was coming in or not. It's got that feel about it. They're looking for something that is not going to arrive because times have changed and the era is at an end. You've got here the voters externally speaking out. Internally, they're not accepting. The voters are not accepting what they are being offered anymore. They're demanding more. And it's going to be the hopes and fears, the death knell of the Democratic Party as we know it. Ending, times changing. You've got the unbalanced agreement here that is going to be revealed. This is the new coming through, the old dying out. They're going to put up a fight about it. Five of Pentacles, out in the cold, cut off from the money. As the harsh truth comes forward, and we've got the Tower for them. Oh gosh, what a time. Yeah, I think yes, it's going to be forced to come out. They're going to try and defend, but there's just the demand is just going to be too much. The money's not going to be flowing in because the donors are not going to trust them. Big donors might be pulling out as well, as they can read the writing on the wall. Harsh truth comes out, and then the Tower. On the bottom, they're going to find themselves legally tied, and then we've got the outpouring coming here. being released, but it's also a cleansing. So yeah, I reckon that they're going to, it's going to, there's going to be some sort of action taken. Now, whether that's through your reps or whether that's through legal action being taken to demand it be released, they're going to push back, but I think it's going to come out and it's going to be incredibly revealing. So yeah, please contact your rep in regards to this. So so Pennsylvania is the latest battleground, and if I click over here and just have a read, what are they hiding? The Democratic National Committee's internal analysts included more than 300 interviews across 50 states, and it remains sealed. The silence may explain why voters are not being told about the Pennsylvania ballot access lawsuit, where votes cast exceeded registered voters in some counties by as much as 1,265.52%, a statistical impossibility. So, and they also talk about the 5 ghost counties displayed by Decision Desk HQ in Florida, and counties that collectively accounted for millions of votes that do not exist. And then you've got the hand counting versus machine counting in District 8 of Minnesota, where there was a 6 to 8% discrepancy. Yeah. And that 90% of the voting machines have remained untested and uncertified since 2020. There is so much dubiousness going on. But this appears to be, if I'm having a look here, there is actually a lawsuit going on in Pennsylvania regarding ballot access, regarding the information come out. Let's have a look. Oh boy. Feels like things are really heating up. Let's have a look. Now, Pennsylvania. Now, Shapiro, he wanted to become Harris's VP purely for Shapiro reasons, not for people. But let's have a look. And I do apologize if you like Shapiro. I just don't get good. The vibes I get from Shapiro is that Shapiro is there for Shapiro. Let's have a look. Yeah, alchemy and spinning the story. But let's have a look. We've got a lawsuit that wants to bring out this ballot information, I believe, from what I understand there. Let's have a look. What's going to happen to that lawsuit? Okay, come on down. Let's have a look. Whew. Okay, looking at the votes, looking carefully at the votes. I only have to win one. But yeah, looking at the votes here. Everything getting revealed. There are some that don't want this information to come out, but the challenge is full exposure. Legal restriction, trying to legally restrict this getting out potentially. How's this lawsuit going to go? Trying to keep it under wraps. But in the past, we've got the Ace of Wands. The information's out there. It's public. Can't put it back in the bottle. Can't put the genie back in the bottle. The big stick. Now, first time I've noticed this, if you have a look down there, looks like a White House on top of a hill. Big stick. Big information in regards to ready to sprout, because it's got growth coming off it. Big information in regards to the White House in the past. Ace of Cups, a cleansing, an emotional overwhelming, a need for it to come forward. How's it going to go? Right, the Knight of Cups in the immediate future, some sort of offer being made, but not looking at the offer. because you've got the waterfall in the background. It will open a dam, burst a dam, create a waterfall flood on the back foot, being defensive against the amount of information coming out. And then we've got the out in the cold, not being trusted. Hopes and fears, the Queen of Wands. Female energies speaking up here. Trying to keep it silenced. Nightmare situation. Walking away. And then the Page of... So we've started with... Who did we start with? The Page of Pentacles. Looking at it. Page of Wands. How's the court case going to go? I really think Pennsylvania, Shapiro is going to fight back against it, which is just causing the voters to abandon, distrust. Yep, there's the heartbreak, loss, despair, betrayal, distrust. I think the messaging's still going to get out there, but the people are going to feel like they've been, if I just say shafted, and then we've got the Five of Cups, loss, disappointment, and the Ten of Swords. And then we've got the High Priestess, hidden agendas. And then we've got legal action about what happened in the past. If Shapiro tries to stop this information coming out, or if the Pennsylvanian state government try and stop this information coming out, it is going to end them. It is going to, because we've got here an opportunity is being presented to expose the manipulation to the voter about the steal. But they have a choice to make with that Two of Swords, and if they succumb to the devil energy, it will be their downfall, because the times have changed. I am just going to put it out there. And we've got the Hanged Man, the wannabe in control emperor, and their poor choice that they make. Poor choices. If the Pennsylvania government, state government, choose to fight or suppress this court case, it will not end well for them, because the information will come out anyhow, and it will be really bad. Really, yeah, because we've got the Queen of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the ones that are just interested in the money, and the Death card. Not acceptable with the Four of Cups, and the secrets will be revealed about those on the inner sanctum, and it will be devastating for them with the Tower. I'm just going to put it out there. If it doesn't matter what side of the aisle they're on in regards to this, if the information is suppressed, it will not end well for either party as they try and stop this from getting out. So again, if you've got a Democratic representative, ring them, email them, whatever you need to do, or even if they're not your representative, choose one in a nearby area or a nearby state or whatever, and contact them and demand that this is released, because I think that I think these corporate Dems are going to do a cover up to protect their gravy train. Okay, let me leave that there. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Catch you shortly.